Tarumbeta italia katika anga.
Like this. That is how the trumpet will sound.
EKONINI. So jana ilikuwa a very I don't know how to describe it, but somehow ilikuwa embarrassing because nilisikia vitu zingine zile sijai expect kusikia, and hizi vitu zote nilisikia just in the name of looking for votes. So one of the things ile nilisikia ni Ruto alikuwa ameishia masaid za Kisumu, alafu unajua ukiwa Kisumu inajulikana kama the headquarters ya protest. So of course saizi juu Raila shaenda, kuna vile Ruto lazima baki ametafuta kura, na ana hope that he block ya ujakani kuna vile it end up move from Raila to yeye. And so aliamua promise something, and as I keep saying, this was embarrassing to say the least. So wacha tusikize kile Ruto alisema.
Hata kama wale walienda kotini, mimi nitahakikisha ya kwamba kila mmoja wenu aliyepoteza maisha yake ama aliyejeruhiwa akipigania mambo ya demokrasia ya taifa letu la Kenya, mambo ya human rights ya taifa letu la Kenya, sisi tutawalipa fidia, kwa sababu nyinyi ni mashujaa wa mambo ya demokrasia ya taifa letu la Kenya.
Meskeo, Ruto alisema that protesters ni heroes wa demokrasia ya Kenya, kupigania demokrasia ya Kenya. This is interesting. Considering that 2024 protesters walikuwa na dedishwa, and of course 2025. But sasa with the Kisumu one, it's interesting because how far back are you going? Are we going back to 2007? Or are we even going further back to 92, 97? So, okay, let's work with 2007. It's going to be interesting because, damn, Kisumu kunaweza kuwa na a lot of millionaires because the amount of deaths zimehappen huko zimekuwa mingi sana. Najua, like that's why unapata garaya kama sisi zile tuko na connection na Kisumu, tunasikia garaya because this is the worst president, because no, he's not. They are all the same. They are all bad. But hey, ilikuwa interesting because even Uhuru, when he was praising Raila, he didn't go this far. But this shows you how much when you need that vote, you'll say anything. And this time, of course, Ruto need the vote. So apparently protesters are heroes. And now it's interesting because, yes, with Kisumu you can say that, but can you say the same thing when you're in Nairobi? And can you say the same thing when talking to Gen Z? Because what if you tell the Gen Zs that they are heroes, and then they decide to call a protest next week? Are they still heroes? Or will you say that it's the opposition? Like where, considering that in Kisumu, it was always the opposition. I don't know. So that was one of those things. Alafu, pia kuna kuogana zile vitu watu fanyaga, zile unashindwa like, why are you doing this? So, one of the things ili happen ni jana, kuna vile the United Opposition waliamua kuenda kwa the AG's, not the AG's, the IG's office. And I don't know, I think they were trying to show might, like the way they are powerful, and it ended up being like the weakest show of force ever. Why? Because somehow business in the CBD continued, and that's not supposed to be the case. If you're the leaders of the United Opposition and you guys are putting like Ruto on notice, then there's no way you should be walking to town, through town, and it just looks like a normal day. Wacha to check.
It was a walk for justice by the United Opposition leaders as they marched to the National Police Service headquarters Friday morning. The leaders holding a closed-door meeting with the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, where they expressed their frustrations with the security agencies over the latest string of attacks on the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. And after hours of a back and forth, the leaders emerged, threatening street action.
So, he plays a threatening street action. That is what I found to be interesting, because I feel like Ruto should call their bluff. Ruto should be like, EKONINI, let me see what you can do. So, wamesema that if action is not taken, then they are going to call for countrywide protests. And they're like, countrywide protests. So, in the middle of town, you could not bring town to a standstill, but somehow, okay, but wacha tusikize.
If this situation continues after 16th, hatutakuwa na lingine la kufanya ni kuitisha maandamano katika Jamhuri ya Kenya until Kipchumba Murkomen is removed from office, IG Kaja is removed from office, and the two DIGs are removed from office.
If you touch any national leader and assassinate any national leader a few months to the next general election, this country will never be the same again.
We want the National Police Service to get out of goonism, to get out of dirty political work, to go back to their mandate.
The leaders also wrote a letter to the National Security Advisory Committee, chaired by President William Ruto, enumerating 23 times when the opposition's top brass was attacked, listing 15 individuals who they accused of planning and executing the Witima attack. The team demanding that NSAC institute independent, impartial and comprehensive investigations into all the incidents outlined, suspend and prosecute all officers and civilians implicated.
Okay, so kuna hizi vitisho zao, alafu kuna hii story, like you still write a letter to the president and you're demanding these things and you know that the president is not going to act on them. Why? Because if I was the president, I'd literally use this to gauge how much the united opposition is loved on the ground. Like, can these people actually call a national protest and it happen? That's number one. Number two, can they show up? Calling is one thing, showing up is another. Kumbuka during the fake inauguration where Wetangula alikuwa nafaa kutokea, Mudavadi alikuwa nafaa kutokea, Kalonzo alikuwa nafaa kutokea, none of them did. Nacheki nakunga majuzi, even Boni akituambia juu ile protest alifanyaga in 2009 where aliprotest, alikuwa na shauti ya Kibaki, and kumbuka walikuwa wameplan a few of them but the others didn't show up. So it would be very interesting if these people were to call this protest, because personally I'm more worried about protest is it Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday ya Matatu Owners Association. I'm more worried about that than this, because this I feel is going to cause nothing. Najua ya Matatu Owners Association is going to bring Nairobi to a standstill to a certain level, so that one is what I'm more worried about than this. But maybe I'm wrong.
Take urgent measures to guarantee the personal safety and constitutional rights of the second deputy president, his family, supporters and members of the public, and restore public confidence in the national security system.
Iko kikundi haramu hapa Nairobi ya polisi 12 wanaitwa Nairobi Sierra, ndio walitumwa na William Ruto kuja kuua sisi kanisani.
The leaders
okay, ndio walitumwa na Ruto kukuja kutua kanisani. Hiyo ni interesting, because I remember nilianalyze your story and the question that I kept asking myself is, what would a Gachagua ule ameacha dunia, like what does Ruto have to benefit from that? And the only answer that I could have is massive political losses. If Ruto made that mistake, he'd lose more than he'd gain. So why would he make that mistake? I don't think he's that foolish. Yes, but tukitoka hapo, still kwa hiyo rally ilikuwa kitu interesting sana kucheki Malala, because Malala kulikuwa na hii rumor that he's joining Ruto, and of course during that time wakabaki wamepiga picha yeye na nani wakiwa coast wakipunga hewa, and it seems that this guy is not joining Ruto anytime soon, because damn, wacha tumsikize.
Na sisi wacha niwaambie, huyu William Ruto tumeshika yeye makende. Tufinye tusifinye. Tufinye tusifinye. Tufinye tusifinye.
Damn, that's Kenyan politics. And I don't know, najua history of freedom of speech inakuwa very interesting, because this is within his freedom of speech. But now you have to wonder, does Farouk think this is within his freedom of speech? I think let's use the next few days to find out, because if the Farouk Kibet is not happy with this, then I guess we know nani atakuwa kifinywa. But what I didn't like about this speech, because this was another speech where it was all about scoring political points, and by through scoring political points kuna hii narrative ile Malala amekuwa kishia every place and he keeps talking about it. So which narrative is this?
Huyu jamaa paka ende nyumbani, na ndiposa tumesema tutapigana na William Ruto hapa kwa ardhi, kwa anga. Hata mimi mumeona nimejitolea. Munakumbuka Echoes of War? Munakumbuka Echoes of War? Sasa hii mwaka nimeandika kitabu ingine tena, inaitwa Who Killed Amolo?
Okay, who killed Amolo? And I don't know, because in ile, like, it's a sort of play, because it's not a book, it's a play that I try to do, provoke and cast doubt on Raila's death. And I think if Raila kungekuwa na any foul play, I think the family would have already done something about it, come out or use something to send a message. There's no way they'd keep quiet like that. Why? Because what would be their motivation? Money. They have money. Najua, that's $1 billion whatever company, like any family. So when I hear who killed Amolo, all I think about is someone who's trying to score political points. And I wonder, it makes me wonder, does it matter that the family is not going to support this and the family is not happy to see this? Because yes, Raila was sick. Unajua, it's just one of those things. Imekuwa hapo. He was not feeling well. He was old. He was frail. And maybe did he age too fast for someone in his 80s, considering that we've seen other people who look much younger than he? Yes. But maybe Nile, how he spent his 30s and early 40s, where he was being tortured and what. Of course, that takes a toll on your body. So, but kuanzisha hii who killed Amolo and to expect to win votes with this, I highly doubt this is going to bring you any extra votes.
Nitoboe! Wewe William Ruto, tutakumaliza. We want to assure you, huyu Rigathi alikuwa deputy president wako, ukamrusha. Mimi nilikuwa secretary general wako, ukaturusha. Huyu Muturi alikuwa attorney general wako, ukamrusha. Sasa deputy president, secretary general, attorney, tunajua siri zako zote. Tutakuanika wewe.
Okay. Mwanikeni tusikie. Mwanikeni. Hizi ni siri gani jo? Because I remember pia tukihost Glory hapa. Glory alisema something close to that. That anajua that one secret that Ruto wants to keep secret forever. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in 2027. Because now in 2027 kifika next year, it's going to be all about grabbing political power. And that's the point where you become desperate and you use everything in your arsenal. So we are going to see what's going to happen your time. Are we going to hear any new secrets? Because I think the Kiambaa one is overused and sparks no emotion. Damn, wrong word to use on that. Najua, evokes. It's not, yes, wacha tumejina evokes. No emotions, if that's not me repeating myself. So what are they going to use? Hizi ni siri gani zile wako nazo zile wajatumia hii time yote? Because one of the things nakuwa nikisikia msanii Gunjiri wa Mbugu alikuwa anasema something that the worst thing that happened to the deputy president is he got impeached too far from the elections. So this means that all the emotions, kumbuka vile people are so angry in October of 2024, and then people are still angry early last year, but you can feel like the anger has started to fade out. So alikuwa nasema that it's too long to sustain your anger, and that anger is what was pushing like Rigathi, some Gachagua's popularity in Central, when I push to hizo levels za him, like there's nothing that he could do wrong. But right now, and the ground had become very hostile for Gachagua supporters. Kumbuka Atiko Gunjiri alipatia na story ya kuna msee alienda huko kufanya fundraising na akafukuzwa, and it was for a good cause. Why? Because people felt he was working for the president. But right now the ground has become super soft. Like we've seen rallies that we did not expect to see. So all this chest thumping yakina Malala, and they are like, is this really okay?
Tutakuanika. Wao unacheza na sisi. Tumwanike tusimwanike. We are serious. Na mheshimiwa Kalonzo, mheshimiwa Rigathi, mheshimiwa wote ambao wako hapa. They have decided in 2027 huyu mtu mpaka aende nyumbani. Amejaribu kununua viongozi, ameshindwa. Sasa nataka munihakikishie leo hii, na niko na maswali matatu. Mukienda kwa ballot paper pale kwa polling station, mwende mupate sura ya William Ruto na sura ya Rigathi, mutapigia nani kura? Swali ya pili, leo hii mukienda hapa kwa polling station mupate sura ya Kalonzo Musyoka na William Ruto, mutapigia nani kura? Ati mutapigia nani kura? Swali ya mwisho, leo hii mukienda kwa polling station mupate sura ya William Ruto na Kondo, mutapigia nani kura?
Wajadhamini tunaambia wasee wapigia Kondo. It shows that you've turned this thing into a personal fight, and it should never be that. I know it looks like, yeah, but haufai kwa pati wasee your option. Oh, ukipata mtu na Kondo, yes, it's very good on paper, but it should not. This is easier for now Ruto to counter that and say these people have no agenda. And you see, that's what Ruto has been saying. Like, yeah, unachiki, I say they have no agenda. The only agenda is one term. And that's how it's starting to look. But EKONINI, najua mwaka ni mpya, lakini injili ni ile ile, LemFi. So, kama uko US, uko UK, uko Canada, ama uko the UAE, na unatry kutuma do Kenya, baki umechangamka, ingia LemFi, utabaki umepata the most competitive rates. Lakini apart from that, on your first transaction ya $100 or more, utapata $20 sign up reward. So unangoja nini? Baki umechangamka, chap chap, ingia LemFi. LemFi, international payments for everyone. EKONINI. Still tukibonga juu ya stories za Gachagua, kulikuwa na mmadha walikuwa namtishia hizo masaidi za Nakuru. Of course, one thing about Gachagua ni asikizanagi na Kihika. Nitongo nani? Susan Kihika. Yes. So kina Susan wali come together like a bunch of women, and yeah, walikuwa wakimtishia, wanamwambia vile hafai kutokea hiyo area. And I'm wondering that is this legal? Najua hii kumtishia that hafai kukuja, hafai kuleta kiherehere. Wacha tusikie.
Governor Kihika saying Gachagua is not welcome to the county, even as Landsayers Alice Wahome said President William Ruto was all but assured of a second term.
Hii imeenda. Ilisha imeenda na William. Hapa na ni next year, sio mbali. Ni next year.
Lakini kama unakuja tu kusalimia watu na uuze sera zako, uko sawa. So our warning to you, no fitina, no ukabila, na hiyo madharau yako uache huko nje ya Nakuru.
Wale wanasiasa wa fujo, wale wanasiasa wanazunguka Kenya kuongea ukabila, kuongea fitina, mimi commissioner kwangu wasikuja na fitina na wasikuja na ukabila.
So yeah, our mother walikuwa natishia Gachagua, and I don't want to know like what's the mood on the ground in Naivasha, cause yeah, ilikuwa ni vitisho. Usikuje, ukikuja, yeah, ukikuja uuze sera zako, kama hauzi sera zako 1 2 3 things. And I don't know, I don't know if that's what people feel on the ground, or this is just them thumping their chest because they know that they can use the government and the police to disrupt such rallies. I don't know the reason behind that, but nikimalizia hizi stories zote kulikuwa na hii nini kwena go around, and I've not confirmed it, but common sense dictates that so kulikuwa na hii image kwena go around Kwa unapewa nyota ukimeandikwa nyoka, but ni nyota fund ya 20k. Meanwhile kijana is buying a 100 million car. Alafu ikakuwa hawa wakimaliza one term yao 2027 we must erase them from our history. So kuna history imekuwa ikigo round, and I think the first time nilisikia ilikuwa ni George Ruto ametumia profits za matri yake kununua like a 100 million shilling car. So kuna mtu alikame up na hiyo theory that George Ruto gari yake ugana make profit ya 30,000 shillings a day. And was it? Yes, I think it was 30,000 shillings a day. Yes, something ridiculous like that. So ikakuwa ni since ana make 30,000 shillings a day profit na maanisha ina year ilikuwa some bullshit nini. How was it even, because how does it come to 100 million? Because I remember looking at that and the math was not mathing, because kuna mseta aliandika kwani math inapiga round ngapi. So wacha tuseme mwaka iko na 366 days and this guy was making 30,000. This would be 10 million. This can't be. Yes, or this is 11 million. So I guess huo mtu alikuwa amesema nani ana make 300,000 per day, and that makes no sense, because even if you were to look at it to 30,000 shillings per day and gari ina run for 24 hours, so it would mean that for every hour ana make profit, yeah, is it 1,200? Yes. And even with that, how would this car be running? Najua, okay, it should be 1,250, but hii gari itakuwa ikiranaje like 24 hours, because now itakuwa like, oh no, the car cannot operate for 24 hours. So let's say it's operating for 12 hours. How much is it supposed to be making? That's 2,500 shillings per hour as profit. Hakuna stories zozote zingine za mafuta and what. This is profit, and it's impossible. So when I saw this post that Ruto's son has bought himself like this Lexus, I just think hata picha yenyewe inanikalia more AI than real. Number plate imeandikwa George Ruto, because budaki of course anakuwa na Lexus, and I don't know, but I feel like this is a fake story. But yeah, kama una feel ni a real story, zabakia mwingi hapo kwa comment niambie, yeah, it's a real story, but I actually think this is one of those fake stories. And what happens with fake stories, of course, ikiamua kuenda inaenda vile inaenda. So yes, there was this fake story. But another story nilicheki ya kutoka hapa Kenya, kulikuwa na story ya Kilifi man who killed wife for joining Instagram 6 court leniency. So kuna hii fala ilidedisha wife wake because wife wake alijoin Instagram. Nizi mafala waga zinafikiria that zina act under religious law, but any civilized society hutumiaga man laws, human laws. Why? Because humans know better than gods. Why? Because humans exist, gods don't exist. But so yeah, hii fala iliamua kudedisha wife, alafu vile ilifikishwa kotini ikabaki imejitetea that inafaa kuachiliwa kwa saizi he's a single father, and is it a widower? Like, but when do you dedisha wife wako? It's not like at wife ali, so if ala inafaa face a very nini sentence, because you can try and imagine the level of insecurity you have to have as a man for you to feel so threatened na dem that uko tayari kumdedisha jome join Instagram. Try and think about that, like that level of insecurity, and somehow you are able to rationalize that kwa brain yako. And when you're caught, because you think you did the right thing, najua you did the right thing, because this right thing that you did guarantees you most probably 72 virgins have already, and you're lucky Kenya haina death penalty, because otherwise ungeenda upate mavaji wako huko mbele. But for you to start claiming that unafaa kuonewa huruma because you're a widower and you made yourself a widower, you are literally a widower maker for yourself. And yeah, so this is one of those stories hapa Kenya zile mtu sikiago kwa zile za damn, enyewe tunaishi kwa shitole man, but it is what it is man. So niambie, manito nani George Ruto amenunua gari mpya, alafu umse Anafaa kwa forgiven, eh? Madem hafai kuingia Instagram, kuza kiingia utagongewa ama what are we saying right now in the Red Pill community? Niambie hapo kwa comments. Iko nene.